In the mid-2000s, scientists at the University of Michigan took a look at the blood samples of people infected with HIV. What they discovered was rather strange. The human immunodeficiency viruses kill their hosts by exhausting their immune system. A weak immune system allows all kinds of pathogens to sweep into their host's body. So it wasn't a huge surprise for them to find other viruses in the blood of the HIV patients. But what was surprising was that those other viruses had come from within the patient's own DNA. It turns out that they are actually the remnants of infections that humanity's primate ancestors suffered millions of years ago. These ancient retroviruses gain the ability to infect germ cells, such as egg or sperm, that do pass their DNA down to future generations. These remnants consist of human endogenous retroviruses, or HERVs, which make up around 8% of the human genome. For a comparison, all the proteins in the human body accounts for only 1% of the genome. This 8% of genome contains segments of DNA that match the genes of viruses. The most common among them are the 3 genes. The first one is called GAG, gives rise to the inner shell where the virus's genes are stored. Another, called ENV, makes knobs on the outer surface of the virus that allow it to latch onto cells and invade them. And a third, called POL, makes an enzyme that inserts the virus's genes into its host cell's DNA. These 3 components will be assembled to make copies of virus using the cell's own machinery. The fact that thousands of pieces of ancient viruses still exist in the human genome and can even create protein has drawn a considerable amount of attention from researchers, particularly since related viruses still active today can cause breast cancer and AIDS-like disease in animals. Oddly enough, there are also important genes we require today came from the same viruses. For example, pregnancy in all mammals is dependent on the virus-derived protein coded in the HERVs. The most famous HERV embedded in human and animal genomes is syncytin. It is a gene derived from an ancient retrovirus that plays an important role in the formation of the placenta. There is still much to learn about the ancient viruses that linger in the human genome, including whether their presence is beneficial and what mechanism drives their activity. Seeing if any of these genes are actually made into proteins will also be important.